Okay, aceptar.
Okay, so let's start. I'm John from Newcastle United Fans Against Sportswashing. On November the 5th, there's going to be a Champions League game between Newcastle United, our team, and an athletic club Bilbao. It'll be a fantastic celebration of football. There's a bit of a connection between Newcastle and Athletic fans going back to 1993-94, when there was in the UEFA Cup when Newcastle and Athletic played a tie. It was 3-2 in Newcastle and 1-0 in San Mamés. I attended that match a long time ago, and actually at the match I spoke to Valverde. He said to me in English, he said, "I'm sorry, John, they won." I was introduced to him outside the match. Now, since then, because of the sort of good feeling between the two sets of fans, and I think there are lots of similarities. And like we'd be chatting before we started, I think there's similarities between Newcastle, Bilbao, and Sunderland historically, because they're both very strong working class cities, but also shipbuilding and engineering areas of the respective countries. But all those industries sort of died, and then the cities have been regenerated. And so the Bilbao is a one team city, same as Sunderland, the same as Newcastle. But we have to ask the question, how similar today are Athletic and Newcastle as regards the ownership and as regards the sort of how the fans feel about football and how they live it. So what we've done today is we've invited Rayco, who's a football writer from Bilbao and also unconditional Athletic club fan, to speak about that. We've given him some questions to talk about, and basically we're going to talk about that issue. Now, as well as being a football fan, I'm also a teacher, an English teacher, so I know about people speaking different languages. I'm speaking in my English, my Geordie English. We speak a different dialect. So Rayco speaks English very, very well. But just as if you ask any questions and do speak slowly, yeah, and just to help them out. And if there's any problems, we can translate and all that. So we'll keep it quite informal. I'll put it over to Rayco to talk about for a few minutes about the match and its significance between the two clubs. So Rayco, over to you.
Hi. A ver, John.
Yes.
Can you repeat the question, please?
We can hear you. Can you start? Can you start now? Yeah.
But speaking about the questions.
Yes. Yeah. No. But whatever you prepared to say. Yeah.
Okay. I have the questions about how does the Basque only player policy work, and I have to say that the Athletic started. They began or they born in 1898, and they start playing with English players and English managers, because you invented the football, you came, and we started playing, and they changed the mentality about the half of the 19th century, and they start playing only with people from Vizcaya. They changed some years later, and
okay. Can you explain what Vizcaya is? I think Vizcaya is a county where Bilbao is situated. Okay. Yeah.
It's our province. I don't know if the province is the exact
the county.
Yeah. The county, yeah, which is Bilbao, the capital.
Yeah.
Our county, and Athletic believes that Athletic start playing with the county players, but we start playing with other Basque, which are from Gipuzkoa, which are our neighbors. It's like if Newcastle start playing with only Newcastle players and start playing with Sunderland players as well. And they
Okay.
changed. That could be nice. That could be nice. Curious. And that's because some of Gipuzkoa people is angry with us because we play with people from different counties. So in the athletic anthem, you can hear Euskal Herriaren erakusgarria, which means we show the Basque country. We show whole Basque country. We represent whole Basque country, or we want to represent all the regions of Basque country.
Okay. And, okay. Rayco. Just to summarize that, athletics started out. It's lost in the history of time, but from workers probably from the northeast, engineers, shipbuilders who sort of took football to Bilbao, but they started off with only playing where they had English players and they had English managers. I think the first manager was English. And then they had a policy of playing with only people from the county of Bizkaia, which is Bilbao is the capital. But later they changed the policy to the whole of the Basque country. So if you're from the Basque country, you can play for the club. Okay.
Yeah. Nowadays, the policy is because the policy started, and now we have closed. Maybe I don't know the word. We closed the policy because and there are two conditions to play in athletic. If you born in Basque country, or you trained in Basque country, in one of the 7 provinces, Bizkaia, Gipuzkoa, Navarra, and the 3 provinces of Iparralde, which are the 3 counties which we share with French.
With France.
We call the North Basque country and the South Basque country. So athletic things like Basque country is not the official one, which say that it's only 3 counties. We believe in 7 counties, and we play with players from 7 counties. It's a little complicated, but it's about related by the history and the politics.
And isn't there another criteria, another condition? It's not just where you were born, but also about the academies, the football academy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. If you're born, I don't know where, for example, in Newcastle, but you play in any team in the Basque country as a youngster, you could play in athletic.
Okay. What about? I'm just thinking about this, but what about? Because I've got two daughters. You know, what about if their parents are Basque? Does that qualify you, or do you have to be born in the place?
Yeah, we have to. There is a nice debate, but at the moment you can't. You have to be born or grew up in the Basque country.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. So the next question is, what about the ownership model? As you know, Newcastle are a Premier League team, and most Premier League teams are owned by multinationals. Sometimes it could be like one, local sort of big business. But now it's really become concentrated, the wealth in the Premier League, and a lot of them are American owned. But Newcastle and Manchester City are quite different because they're owned by states. In the case of Manchester City's Abu Dhabi, there's no real argument about that anymore. And Newcastle are owned by the Saudi state. They try to say it's like a wealth fund, but in reality, it's a state, a country. So how does that compare to Athletic?
Athletic has a very different ownership because Athletic is from socios. Yeah, it's divided. The socios have the voice, and we run like the democracy most of the times, and we could choose the president, for example, and the president doesn't earn money. They don't have any salary.
No salary. Okay. Yeah.
No salary. I think they have nice conditions because if you have a business, you could make many contacts and something like that.
Yeah.
But from your interest, but in fact, you don't have a salary. You don't earn any money. And the socios, we could choose the president in a votation, and then we have a general assembly. And in the general assembly, we run by socios compromisarios. To be a socio compromisario is a represent of a group of socios, because I as a socio, I can go to the assembly but not speak, only to watch, to attend. But if I have a group of 9 socios that delegate from me a vote, I could go to the assembly and speak and vote from the other socios.
Okay, can we just clarify then what a socio is? Okay, so for example, that exists in well, not the same, but a season ticket holder. That means a person who buys a ticket for the whole year. That's what they are, but they don't have any rights. They just can go to the games. Okay, in fact, unfortunately, at the moment, they're taking away a lot of the rights of season ticket holders to go to Champions League matches, which is terrible, you know. But do you have to do anything special? So if you buy a ticket for the whole year, do you automatically become a socio? A socio is like a member, isn't it? A member. It means a member. So how does it work? If you buy a ticket for the whole year, are you automatically a socio, or do you have to make another payment on top of that?
I don't know if you can buy a ticket for a whole season. I think you have to be a socio to have the right to go to all the matches. You could buy a single ticket or maybe a packet or a special combo for the youngsters, because the youngsters now they have a quote, or they have a packet which is I don't know for how many matches. Maybe it's for a season, for a whole season, but this is the special thing. If you want to go to attend all the matches of Athletic, you have to rent a socios ticket holder, or buy ticket by ticket.
Okay.
Match by match.
This is an interesting point, you know, and if perhaps Andrew could say something about this, if he's, you know, what's happening with Newcastle's season ticket holders, because I know there's some problems. For example, when Newcastle played Barcelona in Newcastle, some fans lost the right to go to the match, even though they were season ticket holders. So my question about that is, if you're a socio, do you make it like an extra payment, or is it just the payment for the year? How does it work? How does that work?
We have special matches every year, which means Mediodía del Club, or the other club, which means the day for the club, or something like that, when you pay an extra. But it's an extra, a slow, a few amount of money. For the Champions League, for example, you have the right to go to the matches, but you have to this year we have because the last one have been more than 10 years ago. I don't remember. But in this season, you have to pay like a bono, like a pack with the 4 matches at home, the 4 home matches, and you pay a small amount of money. For example, I pay 50 euros, 50 for the 4 home matches, all of them.
Yeah.
But in fact, I pay. I don't pay too much because I'm in the safe standing. I'm the popular stand.
Oh,
even you pay more for your carnet, for your ticket. You pay more in this pack, but it's not a crazy one. I think you could pay maybe 100 euros for the 4 Champions League matches as an addition to your ticket holder, which maybe you are paying 1,000.
But my question is, my question is, so the preference is for the socios, the members.
Yeah.
They get the first call on the tickets for Champions League and Cup. Yeah.
Okay. But well, then they have the I don't know how to explain in English. They have an amount of tickets reserved to the UEFA and to sell to some companies. So they have this one as well. But first are socios, and then if they have empty seats, they sell or they sold to their ones, and then we have the VIP area as well.
And how does it work in the Champions League? For example, I read today that there's going to be 3,000 Athletic fans going to Newcastle. And how does that work? Is it because that's not all the socios? There must be 40,000 or more socios. So how do they decide who's going to go to the to Newcastle, for example? Yeah.
I don't know the amount that the people they sing to Newcastle, but the socios have the right to for away matches. You could put your name and you go to sorteo in English.
A lottery, or
Lottery.
a draw, yeah, a draw, yeah.
Yeah. Then you go to a draw. Yeah. And for example, for a Dortmund match, I think we have 4,000 tickets, and it was 8,000 people in the draw.
Okay.
Yeah. So Newcastle, I put my name. I put my name in the draw, and I didn't get a ticket, for example.
Well, just out of interest, how much does it cost to be a socio of Athletic for a year? How much does it cost?
Okay, I have been asking, and I have been searching, and I'm paying 400 per year, not per season, per year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And but I'm in the safe standing. I'm in the Real Maya. I'm in the popular stand, which the price is lower, much lower.
Yeah.
But the other prices could be six in a good place, upper than us because we have two stands, the low one and the up one.
Yeah.
And I think in a good place you could buy 6,000. 600. Sorry,
yes.
6,000 will be crazy. Yeah.
And Andrew, what's the average cost of a Newcastle season ticket?
It was on a 10-year deal until last year, and that was at £600, which was pretty reasonable by Premier League standards. But that deal came to an end in the summer, and I think they've gone right up by about 25% or so. So it'll be, I didn't buy a season ticket anymore, so I'm not sure, but I would imagine it's north of 800, maybe 900 now, £900.
Yeah, for the cheapest. Yeah.
So sorry, John.
Yeah.
Can I?
Go on, John. Yes. Go on. Yes.
I think what you're trying to get at though was we're talking about season ticket prices both in Bilbao and in Newcastle, but what you're really after is what did it cost to become a socio? And I think it was about €3,000. They all had to stump up when they moved to the new ground. So it's like a one-off payment where they stumped up €3,000, and then every year subsequently they pay the quota, which is included your seat.
Okay, that's clear. So basically, to be a participant in the club and to have voting rights, you have to enter. Yeah. I have got
Sorry, if I keep paying my quota, I will be forever in Samames.
Yes. Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. And now when I have been socio 10 years ago, because I couldn't afford the amount of money, and I pay 2,000 euros, and now a friend 5 years ago he paid 1,800, something like that. But yes, you have to pay like for your seat, and then you pay to the maintenance. Yeah.
Well, this is the last question on this, if anyone else hasn't got anything, but the last question on this idea. There's a bit of it, obviously in the Premier League and, other leagues, there's a corporate sort of mentality, and basically it's getting more and more expensive. And there's been some problems at Newcastle and other clubs about, like I mentioned before, fans being frozen out, and not being able to go to the big games because they have the VIPs. I don't know what the situation exactly is at Newcastle, but when I used to go with my dad's season ticket, that was my dad's, and then nobody stopped me from going. And I don't know what the situation is now, because we, as a campaign, we don't go to the matches. We don't give money to the Saudi owners. But what's it like in Bilbao? Can you, for example, if you're ill or you're away, can you give your ticket to another person, a family member or a friend? Can you do that?
Yes, we have nowadays. It's very easy because some years ago you have the card, and you have to let the card, and you have to meet the person or let in a bar. You have to go take. You have to in your pocket out. I know we have an app, which is very easy.
An application.
An application, yeah. And you have to register in some minutes in the application, and you send an invitation, and you could do I don't know 2 hours before the kickoff, and it's very nice.
So you can share your ticket. Yeah. And
it's a very good decision because there are many matches, and some people only go to the big matches or the weather, or I don't know, the individual situation of everyone, and allow to another people that because there are a lot of people that can be socio that wants to go to San Mamés, even the rival, even against the whatever, even the cup or the third division, and it's very nice that.
Okay, that's good. Okay, well, perhaps at the end, if there's any more questions about that, we can go ahead. Next question is, how many socio-owned clubs are there in La Liga? Is the Bilbao, the Athletic ownership model? Do other clubs follow that, or is it only Athletic?
There are another two that are Barcelona and Real Madrid, or they supposed to be like owners, the socios, the owners. But I don't know. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, Real Madrid is like a state club as well, and the president is a delinquent. Delinquent, very good. Yes, and he has links with politics, and he makes his business through Real Madrid as well, through the club, putting the club before another things. Himself to the referees. He's like one of the biggest, the richest men in the Spain.
But on Osasuna, socio-owned club as well. Osasuna.
Yeah, I think could be, but I don't. Yes, because they bought the president the last 2 weeks. Yeah. Sorry, Osasuna. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, Andrew, you want to ask a question or?
Yeah, I have a question. Barcelona were obviously a fan-owned club, and they had a very big reputation. They wouldn't have a sponsor on the front of the shirt. And why? What do you think the difference is in mentality between a Bilbao fan and a Barcelona fan, even though they're fan-owned clubs? And how has that come about? Is there a difference? And if there is, why is there that difference?
Okay. First of all, Andrew, sorry, but you have to, if you are meeting Athletic fans, you have to say Athletic, only Athletic.
Athletic.
Bilbao say Barcelona fans, and Real Madrid fans say, oh, Bilbao. And
Athletic, sorry.
Spanish media, they say, Bilbao, like that. And we feel like, no, Athletic. We only Athletic. Right. And if you are going to have a pint with Athletic fan, and you say, I know that you are Athletic, not Bilbao, they will invite you for a pint.
That's a good tip. A good tip for the match.
Yeah.
It's a tip, eh? It's a tip. I think that Barcelona at the beginnings, they were called like the desarmado in English.
Disarmed. Yeah.
Disarmed army from Catalonia. They have been called many years ago. Like they represent Catalonia, like Athletic represent Basque Country, and they were like very Catalanist, very on the culture, the languages, the values. But nowadays, I think there are the Real Madrid and Barcelona are only business, like Liverpool and Manchester United. They have more fun. They have more fans in Singapore or in China or whatever, in Bilbao maybe, than in Barcelona or in Madrid, and they are like only aesthetic supporters. And the Barcelona has socios, and I think they are losing the mind, or they think that they are bigger than other ones. We have now we don't have a really good feeling with Barcelona. We have had good feelings because of politics, because of they want independent. Some of us we want independent. The culture we are like similar in that way, but nowadays we don't have a good relation because in my point of view, always I think they think that they are bigger than they are. They are like Real Madrid. We say always they believe that people have to say what you want. We have to win always. Please, 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 please. And Barcelona began to feel like that, and the Barcelona fans. And the example is that in some editions of Champions League ago, they have been in the quarterfinals, I think, against Eintracht Frankfurt, and they sold the match ticket for I don't know the amount of money, a lot of amount of money to the Germans, and suddenly the Germans appear in the Camp Nou dressed in white, and when the camera captured the stand, the Barcelona fans were few, and the rest were dressed in white, and they lost the match. And the people from Barcelona were angry because a lot of percentage of socios sold the tickets because of money, and they forget to support the team, and they say because they believe that I spend this amount of money on my travel to the final, and they forget the match and they lost. They were, I think, the one of the most ridiculous moments in the Barcelona recent history. It's a little bit shame. I have Barcelona supporters, a lot of friends, and they were saying about. And I say, you must be Athletic fan.
Yeah.
Well, Barcelona is sponsored by Barcelona sponsored by Qatar, aren't they? Could that ever happen to Athletic, or would fans just not allow that?
Qatar are sponsors of
Athletic and Barcelona started at the same way with the shirt. I'm a shirt collector. I have this one from my friend Enrique, which is a very big present. And Athletic and Barcelona were in a moment many years ago the only teams without any public in the shirt. I have the last one made from Kappa, Athletic shirt. I think were from Centenary, without the publicity in the shirt. And Barcelona start with UNICEF, like something like for the community and with the values, and Athletic start with Vizcaya, which is Vizcaya, the propaganda of the county of we live. So they started like slowly, like something for all, and suddenly they start changing. And in fact, I speak with Barcelona fans, and they don't care about Qatar public. It's like when I ask to Newcastle fans about Saudi Arabia, and some of them tell me, I don't know, I don't want to debate this. They give us some money, like Qatar gives to Barcelona, and say, it's enough, we need money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know that it's complicated to speak in some places, but
it seems like the socio model of Real Madrid and Barcelona, for like historical and also recent political reasons, has been distorted. Yeah. And I know that there are some Barcelona and Real Madrid fans are not happy about that, but also they've received that. I've read some books about this, but both Real Madrid and Barcelona, for the national sort of question in Spanish state, they've received a lot of help, which they shouldn't. which other teams don't get, from the town hall of Madrid, from the Comunidad de Madrid, and from Catalonia. So you probably, I don't know if everyone heard what Rayco said, but he said they're national teams, like they're state teams. They represent, Real Madrid believe they represent Spanish state, you know, even though they don't. And Catalonia and Barcelona believe they represent Catalonia. And so it's quite dirty, really, in some ways. Some of the deals are terrible, you know.
Excuse me, Jan. There is, Andrew, a curious thing of globalization, I think, or the days that we are living that are as crazy as you could find a Barcelona supporter, a very, very, very Barcelona supporter, a big fan with a Barcelona shield tattooed in the arm in Madrid. And if you speak with him, they could say, tell you, I don't like Catalonians. I don't like Catalans. I don't like Barcelona. I don't like Barcelona people. So you could imagine that.
Yeah.
And it's beginning normally. I see a lot of people speaking like that. I don't like Catalans, but Barcelona is my team. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
It's like NBA or NFL. In NFL, the football, the American football, that moves the teams in a different places, and you say, I'm from Riders, but I don't like Las Vegas. In this case, I could understand, but that Barcelona.
That's crazy. So what are they supporting then? Because it's just there's no depth, isn't it? It's a very shallow way of viewing your football club, isn't it?
They win.
Yeah. That's a whole other discussion about the relationship between Barcelona and Real Madrid and the domination of La Liga. But I'm going to put another question now about the admirable socio model or ownership model of Athletic. Do you think, Rayco, it will change? Do you think it's because that, I've heard at various times people are saying, we should have players from foreign players, like Real Sociedad have players from everywhere now, don't they? And they used to have the same policy, didn't they? Real Sociedad or the team in San Sebastián, Donosti, yeah? And they used to have a similar policy, but they changed it many, many years ago. Do you think that Athletics policy will change, or is it okay for now?
I remember before we won the cup, there were like a debate in the society, in the groups, in the pubs about the policy, and I say, suddenly we look each other and say, who is coming? ¿De dónde viene? ¿Cómo se dice? Where is coming from?
Yeah,
where is coming from? This rumor from Spanish media that they want to discuss these crazy things, but when you speak with people, say, no, if Athletic changed the policy, I'm going out. I'm going to support another team.
Yeah.
We will lose our soul, our special thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain. Maybe in the future, if we don't allow the youngsters or the child, what means special for Athletic, or what becomes special to Athletic, maybe we could do that. But I think it's our soul, it's our identity, it's unique. It's the only thing it's unique.
Yeah. I have a friend, a student of mine, and he's like you, unconditional Athletic fan. And he told me something quite interesting because he's much older than you, and he said, it's no debate. We'll just continue with this policy. And I said, are you happy? Like, this is the next question. Are you happy with? And he says, look, I've been to, in my life, I think he's 50 something. I've been to a few finals. We've been to Europe. We've been in the Champions League. And he said, the difference is, he says, when Athletic wins something, it means something. It's an achievement. And when we win, we feel it a lot sweeter. This is what he said to me. So he said, we don't have to win every year. We don't have to. But when we win, it's important. So that's my question. Are you happy with how successful Athletic have been in the last few years?
In the last few years, on the pitch, yes. On the pitch, of course. I thought that I will never watch Athletic winning nothing. I believe that because we play a lot of finals. We have Bielsa, we have the Magic. We lost the Magic. We play stupid finals against Real Sociedad. We play for nothing. We have but we always have the hope, and then we go down. And I believe that I strongly believe that I will never see Athletic winning nothing. And I speak with my father and with my friends, like John with an H, and about the experience of Gabarra, because Andrew the Gabarra is the boat when Athletic wins something is like a small boat, which small, very, very. If you if you look in Google, it's a very, very, very small boat, which go to from the sea, go with the river to the city center, and we were 1 million of people attending. That's right, 1 million, and it was crazy because I was with my family, with my friends, with my child. It was a dream for me. I was crying. Wow, I can't explain. But we are now in Champions League. I think we have a good project. We have nice players. We have players from Ghana. We have players that represent Marruecos. We have the variety of the Basque society inside the pitch. And I think this is very good for all the people. But I don't agree with the board because I think that economically they are brilliant. They are keeping well. We are having money because of publicity, because they think some nice stuff. But in the meaning of the relation with the fans, they work with La Liga because La Liga have very strict rules about the chants, about the criticism. They didn't allow after 2 years to wear the Palestine flag, for example. And we always have been protesting because Athletic fans is maybe, or we identify ourselves to the workers, we identify for the fighters, rebel, left winger, and we always chant songs about the politics or the situations. And La Liga nowadays they don't allow us to make our chants. And Athletic board work with La Liga to ban some fans. For example, the guy who is having the speaker, the guy who is with the drums, and I think you have always will be a conflict between the youngsters, the oldest socios, between the board and the popular stand. I think there must be a conflict to resolve, to adapt, and to keep working. But the board have been very, very rude, and they explained that they saw himself like a victim in the conflict in the media, and they banned and we have been wrecked the fans, the popular stand with the rest of the fans and the socios in many matches last year, and it makes the hurt us, and I believe that, in my opinion, it was the fault of the board because they don't have the ability to speak, to get the message to the popular stand. So on the pitch, yes, to resume in the pitch very well, but socially and around.
That's interesting. We'll come on to Palestine and Gaza towards the end. I want to ask you about that. But it's interesting about the celebration, about how often, because I looked it up just to prepare for this, and in all the time that Athletic have had this policy, but even in the last 10, 20 years, they've been a lot more successful in Europe and La Liga than Newcastle. And Newcastle won the first Carabao Cup last year, and there was a big celebration, not as big as the Athletic one, but it was big, But it was interesting because a lot of fans, I'm not saying a majority, but some fans, we got them writing for our website who were conflicted about it. They were saying it was a big price to pay, you know, to not say anything about the Saudi regime. And it's interesting that, you know, I watched the celebrations. Just to explain what you were saying, it's like the little ship that you're talking about, it's a tug. And it worked when they had the shipbuilding and the trade. It pulled the big ships, and it pulled the like a ferry of all the building or the metal and materials. And I think there was a famous celebration in, was it 84, 85, when Clemente was the manager and Athletic won the double. They won the league. This is in the 80s. They won the league and the cup. So in recent times, in our lifetimes, you know, Athletic have won a lot with this policy. So it's an interesting you know, difference between Newcastle. The last time Newcastle had won something before last year was the old, well, first cup, UEFA Cup, 1969. So despite all the different owners and with, you know, Saudi owners, it's one cup, you know, and it's a big price to pay, you know, to win something, you know. And I can sort of see your point of view that, like I said, a friend of mine who's an Athletic fan was saying, it's like, it feels sweeter. It's much sweeter to win like that, you know.
I think every club could be. You remember Malaga play semi-final of Champions League?
Yeah.
They were like another one who puts money by players. Van Nistelrooy playing for Malaga was crazy. Joaquin, Isco, they built an amazing team with the money, but suddenly he doesn't put any euro, and the Malaga was near to disappear.
Yeah. Okay, another question.
Like,
if we bring it up to the game, you know, we mentioned at the beginning about the good feeling between Newcastle and Athletic fans. So what do Athletic fans think about Newcastle and Newcastle fans? You know, you've written about this a little bit, but what's the feeling? Why does that exist between the two sets of fans?
I have to say that I support Newcastle, Everton, and when I went to Newcastle, I asked about athletic friendship and what is happening with Everton. I don't know because there is a rivalry, but most of the people told me that it's all in the media, and it was a discussion from Twitter, and I said, "Wow, what is happening?" And in my close friends and in my the people who surrounded me remember Newcastle with a smile because of the eliminatory the matches of the 1994. I was 9 years old, and I remember people wearing the next days for the match wearing extra big Newcastle shirts. The kids with like a dress, and I say, "Wow, why do you have this? Oh, my uncle went to the match and changed the shirt, and wow, it's amazing." And because in that years you could buy Athletic, Real Madrid, and Barcelona shirt, but the other was very rare, very difficult to. So in a moment, a lot of people wear Newcastle shirts, and it was crazy. And the people told you stories. My dad told me that he had been speaking English, but my father doesn't speak in English, but has been night with a guy who was. And you see the images, and there is the best example for me is when people invade the pitch after the match and went to Newcastle fans. And the security was like, "Oh my God, what is happening? They are going to fight." And the Athletic fans went in the pitch to go to the way fans where they were.
The Castle
Newcastle fans to chant Newcastle, and the Newcastle fans chanting Athletic.
Yeah.
And it was this image is unforgettable.
Yeah. I was at that match, and I had a ticket for the Athletic end, and I went and I said, "Oh, I want to go to Newcastle." So I just talked to the stewards. I talked to the police, and they said, "No, no problem," and they just opened the gate and they let me go. I don't imagine you could do that today, but it was very easy. Yeah, they just said, "No problem. You have to be with your people. You can go. Yeah, no problem."
You have been socio for that moment.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Now, you mentioned before about the controversy about athletics supporting like social movements, supporting Palestine and Gaza. But we've seen in the international press that there was a big, been a few protests in support of Gaza from the fans, but also the club. The club officially sort of honoured Palestinian people. Now, I don't know if you obviously you know about Newcastle's owners. Newcastle are owned by the Saudi state, and it'd be surprising for a lot of people. You'd think as an Arab country they would support Gaza, but it's not true. The dictators have been like arresting Saudi young people a lot, and Saudi people who've like been protesting in support of Gaza. We've got, obviously we follow these things quite closely. So, our owners are actually, arresting the people who are pro Gaza, pro Palestinian. But how did it come about that that in the end the club actually honoured the Palestinian people? It was a game a few weeks ago. So how did that happen? Was that the pressure of the fans, or what happened? What happened?
I have two feelings with that, because Basque Country has been supporting Palestine since I could remember, because the Basque Country always look forward, look out his frontiers to support the other countries which are who are struggling, like I don't know, in Venezuela there are a lot of associations in Venezuela.
Ireland and Scotland.
Mapuche,
yeah.
Mapuche. There are in with Zapatistas, and of course in Palestine. The Basque people have been working in Palestine since many years ago. So we always, I grew up knowing about Palestine. I don't know other people, but in my generation, the people who my friends and all of us know about Palestine many years ago, like about Sahara, and we always when the conflict starts, we try in the popular stand to wear Palestine flags, Palestine shirts, Palestine whatever, and we have been catching, and they take off all of the flags and of the Palestine symbols, and some people have been banned.
Really?
Yeah, some months ago, because of wearing Palestine symbols, because the club decide in the Liga said that you can wear any political symbol. This is a big hypocrisy, because they wear Ukrainian flag in the TV, in the shirts, in the everywhere. They allow you to Palestine to Ukrainian flag, but not another at them. And the people have been banned because support Palestine. There are supporters from Osasuna that have been I don't know thousands of euros of multa of
fines
because of a tweet to support Palestine. It's crazy. And now when Gaza is close to near to be destroyed, when the politicians have been obligated to say like maybe we have to do something for Palestine. In that time, Athletics said, okay, we are doing for Palestine, and we put the flags, and we invite the refugees to the ground. La Liga banned the images of that match, of that pre-match, of that
on the TV,
to the refugees, and they put the Palestinian flag outside the stadium with the lights of the stadium, amazing, and the people were athletic fans were very proud because they support Palestine, the club. They have been some minutes before to support Palestine, and they scream and they speak loudly. But in the other way, some months ago you banned people because of wearing Palestinian flags. So they have this dichotomy. I think that it's very good patriotic supporters to wear like calm. You are not making any mistake or out of love. But in the other hand, there is a big hypocrisy because when Palestine need more help, you ban people, and you don't have been brave against La Liga to say, okay, ban me, I will pay the ¿cómo es la multa?
Fine.
The fine, but I will show the Palestinian flag. John asked me the last time, could I wear the Palestinian shirt in Mames, really?
Yeah.
And I said, from the last match, yes, Athletic allow you to wear them. So it's
Well,
a
could
pity.
that be? Could you say that that's like, well, because public opinion has changed, but also the pressure of the fans. They just couldn't control it any longer, and they had the club had to go, because it's quite significant that a club would do an official, honor for Palestinian people, didn't they? They invited Palestinian refugees. It was there before the kickoff. La Liga didn't agree, but they haven't. I don't think they've fined Athletic for that, have they? No.
No. I think Athletic did because they didn't been they will not been fined because of that.
Okay.
They wait for the moment that okay, we are allowed to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got a couple of more questions, and then if anyone else has got questions, we can ask them. But my question is, who are Athletic's biggest rivals? Obviously, our biggest rival is Sunderland. Yeah, but what about Athletic? Who are your biggest rivals? Alaves, probably. Yeah.
In my opinion, the Basque teams are my friends. I love the derbies. I love to winning the derbies, of course, and we have our small fights against Osasuna because of the in our policy we only play with Basque players. So some players we bought from Osasuna. Then they bought for us as well. Real Sociedad. This Saturday we are playing against them, but I think it's the same. It's same. It's the same rivalry. The two clubs that I think that nowadays have the hottest atmosphere against Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Yeah,
because Barcelona have been paying a referee, and they have been banned, investigated.
They've bribed the referee. Bribed someone.
They bribed. Yeah. And Real Madrid is Real Madrid. They did all his things as well as Barcelona presume about his. They are another club, another ex-complete, and they are the same as Real Madrid nowadays. And I think the hottest atmosphere is against the two clubs.
Okay. And what about the match on November the 5th at St. James's? Do you have a prediction for the score? What do you think?
Yes, I think we will win 1-0. Leque will score. And we will have a lot of fights, and we will see each other again in the final of the Champions League.
You think so? Okay, that would be good.
Why not? This is a Bilbao. Yeah.
Okay, well that's all the questions from people who've sent them in. But I don't know if Andrew or John, if you've got any more questions or you want to say anything, or.
Well, I'd just like to say you did really well there, Rayco. Your English has been fantastic, and I know you were worried, but you've been brilliant.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, I definitely reiterate that as well. I'd say the same thing, and also have a question about the Basque only players policy. Is there an ongoing debate about who actually is a Basque, and does that change over time? Are they kind of expanding or closing the definition? Say, you only have to have been born here, or your grandparent has to have been born here, or could it get as wide as your second cousin? Is it like, because kind of the world political situations may be becoming a bit more insular? Does all this play into who qualifies to play for Athletic, or is this an ongoing part of being a fan, like having this discussion?
Yeah, the globalization take us players like 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 Iñaki and Nico, who are refugees sons. So, and for example, the recent migrants, well, recent, maybe not, but migrants from Marruecos, like Marwan Sanadi. So, our globalization, I hope that will be like that. Like it's Athletic is an example for the society. We have people from a lot of places. And we have the second goalkeeper have been called for Mexico, for example. We have had Fernando Moribieta, who born in Venezuela, but he came to Bilbao with 5 years old, and he have been playing with Athletic, and he have been international with Venezuela, for example. I think we are living this situation, but I don't think that the policy will be changed. I know that if your grandmother have been Irish, you could play with Ireland, even you have been in Ireland never, and or like McTominay, for example. I think he have been. Yes, I think McTominay have never been in Scotland before, and he's playing with Scotland. Those kind of things. I think we will never see in Athletic. Oh, I thought, because in my belief, I think that you have to have a link. It's like Barcelona fans in Madrid hating Catalan people.
Yeah.
You have to have a link with the land.
Yeah.
And the culture, and
it seems quite a reasonable policy, though, doesn't it? Yeah, that you're born here, or you've played for the athletic academy. It has to be athletic academy, I think. Yeah, so you could
it's any academy.
Any academy in the Basque Country, is it?
Yeah, so Laporte, for example.
Oh, right. Okay.
Laporte is actually French, and he arrived in the French part of the Basque Country when he was about 16. So I think Athletics stretched it a bit to say that Laporte was made footballistically in the Basque Country. And Rayco's laughing because he knows I'm right. They took... If Messi had arrived in the Basque Country, he could have played for Athletic using the same criteria. So it's literally anywhere in the Basque Country, if you turn up as a kid and learn to play football, you can play for Athletic.
Would you consider your manager, Valverde, my friend, yeah? Would you consider him a Basque player when he played?
Yes, he did, yeah. Yeah.
He played for Alaves, didn't he?
Yeah, he feels Basque. Yeah. Maybe there are other players who have been born here and they don't feel Basque as well.
Yeah.
Maybe they grew up like in a ghettos, in a Spanish ghetto, or not with the culture, not with the languages. It's curious because Basque people. I'm listening, crying my babies. So
yeah.
My wife is angry with Newcastle now, for sure. It's curious because in Basque, for a Basque people, you say Euskaldun.
Basque speaker. Yeah.
Yeah, Basque speaker. We don't say you born in Basque country, you are Basque. So we told Basque people to people who manage the language. So it's very nice.
Yeah. Well, final question. I don't want to keep you much longer.
Yeah.
Quite an unusual thing. I think it's next in November. There's going to be an international, isn't it? Euskadi against Palestine, and we don't have that. In the United Kingdom, it's like England, Scotland, each. So it's actually quite an interesting thing because a lot of you know, Basque people I know ask me, say, why isn't the One United Kingdom team? And we say, well, it's impossible. But then I say, well, look, you know, it's different times. You have like a Catalan team and a Euskadi team. But what's the history behind that? Because usually they play at New Year, don't they, or after Christmas? But this game's going to be in November between Euskadi and Lifeline, isn't it? Yeah.
In the last years, it has been controversial item to speak, because some years ago the federation decided that, or the people decide that this kind of matches was made to represent Basque country and fight for the officially, to compete as officially, and another selection, another nation in the, like England or Wales in another competitions. And he have been modified, and they play in strange dates, and they start becoming like something folklorical, or something like a party time, like, I don't know, not serious matches, not serious rivals, serious dates, and but in the last times they fight for this. And I think that there is people like is going to attend Palestine match against Palestine, to support Palestine, and this is very well. But they have to know that this match is for the officiality of the Basque team, national team.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah.
This is, and the federation invite Palestine to defend Palestine, the rights, and all those kind of things. But the whole match is for the officiality of the Basque country.
Okay then. Well, thank everyone for coming. We'll put this online, or clips of it, or parts of it. And thank Rayco very, very much. And, you know, we'll continue the relationship between Newcastle and Athletic. And I think, you know, it's going to be, like I've said, I think it's going to be a celebration of football on the 5th of November. But also, like, after what you've said, a reflection about where is football going, you know, and what kind of ownership do we want? And also, like, the values and principles that we have, you know, in football. And you know, I hope other Newcastle and Athletic fans listen to this and you know, have a bit of a dialogue with us about you know, where football's going, because you know, it's very inspiring to see a club in a region like, you know, Athletic having the success that they have with those principles. You know, it's very laudable. Okay, so thank you everyone, and I'll finish the recording now. Okay. All right.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Get back to your children. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good luck, John.
Muchas gracias,
I think you're doing a wonderful job yourself.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Where you
have to meet each other.
Sorry?
Excuse me, John. Sorry, I'm going, but you have to meet each other because you have a lot of things in common.
Okay.
Even